What's going on, guys? It's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be discussing my BMW 335D. We just ticked over 140,000 miles. And I think it's time you and I discuss what I think we should do with our 335D. There's a lot of different options, a lot of different thoughts I've been kind of rolling around in my head, and I definitely want to bring you guys into this decision-making process. So please do make sure to leave a comment down there. I will respond. I pretty much respond to every comment out there if I see it. I mean, YouTube is not always the best at showing me the comments, but let's talk about the 335D now at 140,000 miles. After the amount of things that I did to it recently, from the wheel bearing, the oil change, all that good stuff, it has been a really reliable car. I have nothing but love for this car. It's kept my wife safe. It's never broken down on us, and we treat it like a commuter car. It really just drives and drives and drives and drives. We drive it long distances, but we just drive it like a normal car should be driven, and it's really not giving us any problem. So another thing that happened at 140,000 miles, it's starting to get up there in age. It's almost 10 years old at this point, and I want something a little bit bigger, a little bit safer for my wife as we start thinking about a future possible family. So I think in the future we will be replacing her car with something else. I'm not exactly sure what yet. I'm really leaning towards a BMW X5, either a 2013 BMW X5, one of the E90s with the hydraulic power steering. I do like that. Diesel, of course, or maybe the generation after that. I'm not certain yet. Again, let me know what you guys think, which is better, the newer version of the I think it's called the F80. I don't know the model designation of the newer X5, but not the brand newest, because the one that just came out does not have diesel. Let's talk about the last two generations of the X5. Which one do you think I should get? So as you think about replacing this car as her daily driver and having her drive the X5, what are the options for this car? Well, there's obviously, we can take this car and sell it. I'm not sure how much I would probably get for it with 140,000 miles and climbing daily almost as we start commuting again after this pandemic has passed. With 140,000 miles, I'd probably get around, I don't know, $7,000 or $8,000 for it on a good day. And it's not in bad shape. It's in pretty decent shape, but given its age and mileage for a used BMW, the market's not going to be that good for it. $8,000 is nothing to sneeze at. It is a lot of money. I think we can do a lot for that money. But if I have other plans for it, there may be better uses for this car. So obviously, one option is I take it over as my daily driver. Now, the thing you guys don't know is that I work from home, so I don't really need a daily driver anymore. My daily driver can be my motorcycle. It can be my Type R race car. I can daily drive that. Can you imagine me going into the grocery store with a giant wing and a splitter in a Type R? I think I'll have to video that one day. But I don't know. I don't think I need a daily driver. So the real option is, I think I should turn this car either into a drag racer or a time attack car. So as you guys know, my buddy Lars, he has basically the identical 335D. He's got a few more modifications than this one does currently. He's got a transmission modification, an intake, a few other things. He's probably making more power than this car for sure. It's been a while since we've got this thing tuned, but he's taking it to the time trial. I've got footage of that. You're probably seeing it right now, and it's an awesome car. It did really, really well, even on, basic all-season tires or kind of semi-summer tires. They're narrow. It wouldn't be the tires I would choose to take to a time trial or a time attack. And to be honest, he wasn't planning to take a 335D on the track. I convinced him to. So, after seeing that and thinking it over and knowing that we're going to replace this car very soon with something else for Jane to drive, I started thinking maybe we should turn this car into an awesome time attack car. So what would entail me turning this car into a time attack car? Well, I'd have to do suspension, obviously. So suspension would be the first thing I would do, and I'd either get Fortunato or Olin's or KW, and I'm actually talking to all of them to see what I can do in terms of getting something together, putting something together for this car. if I can convince somebody to kind of help me out, maybe go half C's or give me a better rate than just regular MSRP, I might go that route, and you'll see that happening very soon. Otherwise, I think we'd have to look at other options, but I'd have to do coilovers. I think a wing would be nice. I think I'd want more downforce in the back. I think with the amount of torque and power this thing has, we're gonna have to sort out the aerodynamic issues. So I think a wing and a front splitter will be nice. And if I'm doing a wing and a front splitter, I might as well do some sort of bumpers. So I think the M Sport bumpers or the M3 bumpers for this car, not only do they look really good, I think they add a bit more cooling for the engine. Now, as it is, this is a sport package, so it's got a lot of the coolers, a lot of the radiators and everything pretty much well set up. It's got nice brakes. The springs were a little shorter, so it's got nice springs as well. And I do have Bilstein B6 shocks, so I don't necessarily have to do coilovers right away. I can take it out to the track as is. But I would definitely want more camber, and I would definitely want bigger, wider tires, so that means bigger, wider wheels. I was eyeing the Koenig Ampliforms, maybe in bronze. Let me know what you guys think. With it's 18 by 9.5, basically the same spec as a Type R, with some very sticky rubber. That would go a long way. I think some Hawk DTC 60 pads would go a long way as well. A refresh of the brake fluid, and with all of that, we would start our Time Attack 335D. Obviously, the next portion is going to be weight reduction. But the other thing that I can do with this car is turn it into a drag racer. So a drag racer would not require suspension necessarily. I could leave the suspension as stock. I could basically leave a car as stock as it is, and all I'd have to do is work on making sure the engine is throwing out as much power as possible, and probably I'd need to get some sort of limited slip differential. Now, whether or not I do the time trial or drag racing, I would probably look into a limited slip differential. It's a shame that even the sport package cars don't come with LSDs. Only the M3s brought the LSDs. That was a big miss for you, BMW. I'm really upset about that. It is what it is. We can get Quaves, we can get M3 LSDs, and they do really, really well with these cars. So whether I drag race this car or I time attack this car, an LSD would be definitely necessary. I think, especially if I'm going to drag race, but also for time attack, looking into some lighter weight seats. Now, that would be the biggest shame, because I think these seats are some of the best seats I've ever had in a car. These sport package seats are just amazing. I love how they feel. They hug you in all the right places. They have lumbar support. The leather in them is amazing. It's just really good. I like the thigh bolster that it has. It's just really, really, really good. And for me to replace it and put in some kind of race bucket, yeah, it'll make it nice and cool. It'll save probably 40-50 pounds, which is what I'm going for. I want some weight reduction, but man, these seats are just really good. And I think it might be cool just to keep this car almost like a it's kind of like a race car, but kind of like a almost a daily race car, but I don't really need a daily. This is why I'm making a video, so you guys can tell me what I should be doing. I'm very conflicted on what to do. It's an extremely comfortable long distance cruiser. If all I really want to do is race it, I can probably upgrade the suspension a little bit, get some camber arms, get some more negative camber going, get some nice big fat tires, throw them on when I go to the track, put on my regular street tires when I want to drive it around normally. I could do that, but I probably wouldn't do the wing and splitter if I was going to drive it like that. Very, very conflicted, guys. So again, this is why you go to the comments, you let me know what I should do, because in the next 6 months or so, I want to plan out what we're going to do with this car. I'm either going to go full-on race with a cage and take the interior out, the whole aerodynamic package. I'm going to drag race it again, probably not a cage, but I'm going to lose some weight here and there, get some more engine power, probably do some meth injection, something like that, and just look at other ways to make this car a much better vehicle to race in. Or maybe turn it into kind of like a daily beater for my wife to drive. She will have the choice of this or her SUV to drive. If it's nice out, maybe she'll drive this. I don't know. Again, I'm very conflicted, but with 140,000 miles, I mean, this car still has a lot of life left to give. I'm sure if I keep on pushing it, it'll make it to 300,000, 400,000 miles, no problems at all. I feel like it's just getting into its stride with its diesel engine. It's a beautiful car. All right, guys, I just want to get on here, talk about what I think we should do with this 335D. I want you guys to let me know, and we'll discuss this further. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.